The light in the room is soft. It is exactly the kind of light that rewards focus. Thomas sits at his desk. He is 36. He is capable. He is the kind of man people describe as reliable and thoughtful. He has a notebook open, a laptop active, and a glass of water that is precisely half full. The system is running. The progress bar is at 95%. There is no error message. There is no system crash. There is simply no execution. To an outside observer, Thomas is working. His posture is upright. His gaze is steady. He is not scrolling through social media. He is not distracted by the humming of the refrigerator or the vibration of his phone. He is engaged in the most sophisticated form of labor available to a human being. He is refining the approach. He has a project, a transition he has been planning for months. It is a logical move. It is a necessary move. But before the first email is sent or the first call is made, the parameters must be perfect. He is currently calculating the secondary effects of his opening sentence. If he uses the word proposal, it implies a certain power dynamic. If he uses collaboration, it implies another. He mentally simulates the recipient's reaction. He sees the recipient reading the email at 10 a.m. Then he simulates the reaction if they read it at 2 p.m. This feels like responsibility. It feels like he is protecting the outcome. He believes he is narrowing the margin for error. In reality, he is expanding the map until the destination is no longer visible. He is not stuck. He is almost ready. He has been almost ready for 3 weeks. By noon, the sun has moved across the floor. Thomas stands in the kitchen, waiting for the kettle to boil. He is not resting. His mind is performing a silent audit of his afternoon. He considers the sequence of his next steps. If he starts with task A, task B becomes more efficient. But if task B encounters a specific technical hurdle, task A will have been a waste of momentum. He stands perfectly still, watching the steam rise. He is rehearsing a conversation he hasn't had yet. He is anticipating objections that haven't been raised. He is solving problems that do not exist in the physical world. This is the seductive trap of a high-functioning mind. Because he is solving problems, he feels productive. Because the problems are complex, he feels challenged. He is not avoiding the work. He is doing the work mentally. He has built a high-fidelity simulation of reality in his head. In this simulation, he can test every variable. He can ensure safety. He can preserve every option. As long as he stays in the simulation, he cannot fail. The kettle clicks off. The silence that follows is heavy. For a brief second, there is a window. A tiny, silent leverage point where he could simply walk back to the desk and type one sentence, without a plan, without a simulation. But the mind prefers safety over truth. The mind suggests that one more review of the data is the professional thing to do. It suggests that moving now would be impulsive. The window closes. The justification completes itself. Thomas pours the water. He feels in charge. He feels prepared. Nothing has moved. By late afternoon, the air in the room feels thinner. Thomas is looking at his notes. They are meticulous. They are the product of a sharp, conscientious intellect. This keeps the pressure subtle. No need to push it. But a strange transformation has occurred. In the morning, the project felt like a single door. Now, after hours of rigorous thought, it looks like a hallway of 1,000 doors. Thinking was supposed to provide clarity. Instead, it has provided scale. He has thought so deeply about the potential consequences that the consequences now feel heavier than the action itself. He sees the ripple effects. He sees the long-term commitments. He sees the ways this choice will collapse his other options. His intelligence has become a magnifying glass. It has turned a small step into a mountain range. He is not afraid. Fear is a loud, chaotic emotion. Thomas is calm. He tells himself he is being thorough. He tells himself he is waiting for the right conditions. Fear never says, "I am afraid." It says, "I need to think a little more." It says, "The timing isn't quite optimal." It is the language of the expert. It is the vocabulary of the person who is too smart to admit they are paralyzed. He sits back in his chair. The room is quiet. He has spent the day in a state of intense cognitive processing. He is exhausted. It is the genuine fatigue of someone who has wrestled with complex variables for 8 hours. But the cursor on the screen is in the same position it was at 9 a.m. The system is running. The progress bar is still at 95%. There is no error, just no execution. The sun sets. The blue light of the evening fills the office. Thomas closes his laptop. He feels a sense of quiet accomplishment, blended with a dull background ache. He has organized his thoughts. He has clarified his intent. He has audited his risks. He tells himself that tomorrow the action will be easy because the thinking is done. He does not realize that the loop has closed. He does not realize that the mind treats a mental rehearsal as a substitute for real feedback. Because he has lived through the day so intensely in his head, his brain feels as though it has already performed the task. The urge to act has been satisfied by the act of thinking. The tension has been released, not through a result, but through an explanation. He walks to the window. He looks out at the street. He is a man of great potential. He is a man with a high-functioning internal engine. The engine is revving. The gears are polished. The fuel is premium. But the car is in neutral. He is not lazy. He is not distracted. He is simply mistiming his intelligence. He is using his greatest asset to build a cage that feels like a fortress. It is a subtle shift. It is the way the light catches a glass on the table. It is the realization that the perfect moment you are waiting for is not a destination. It is a mirage created by the processing power of your own brain. You recognize this man. You recognize the feeling of being almost ready. You know the weight of a system that is running perfectly but producing nothing. The internal audit, the imagined response, the decision buffering. You have felt the relief that comes when you find a reason to think for one more day. You know that this is not procrastination. It is something much more quiet. It is the belief that you can think your way out of the risk of being alive. It is the hope that if you process the data long enough, the uncertainty of action will disappear. But the leverage moment is small, and it is silent. It exists in the space before the justification completes itself. It is the moment you put the glass down. It is the moment you stop the simulation. It is the moment you move before you are certain. Thomas sits back at the desk. He doesn't review his notes. He doesn't reread the draft. He types one short sentence. He presses send. The system stops processing. The bar reaches 100. The room is still quiet. Nothing feels different. But something has finally happened.